Amazon.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Latin Babbler Show, presented by your host Rafael, aka the Latin Babbler. I am joined by my amazing co-host today, Daisy Tornell, Paula from Paula Knows Something. We have a lot to chat about today, everything from Bad Bunny to Blue Beetle. So let's get going.
Levantaré mi bandera, estando en mi país o estando allá afuera, porque para mí, mira, no existen fronteras. Yo levantaré mi bandera, wow. Levantaré mi bandera, estando en mi país o estando allá afuera, porque para mí, mira, no existen fronteras. No, no, y es que hay mucho sentimiento, lo grito al viento, de ser latino nunca me arrepiento. Lo digo desde la Suiza, centroamericana, rebota en Colombia y en Dominicana y yo.
Hi Daisy, what's up? I know you got some celebrity news and we got quite a few of them. So go ahead and start off.
We're going straight to it, right?
Yep, going right into
So
it.
I'm sure everybody already saw the picture this morning. Bad Bunny riding a horse with Kendall Jenner.
I don't know
Kendall
who's writing who,
Jenner.
but yeah, there was a picture of them.
What do they call? They call her Kendall Jenner.
Kendall Jenner.
No, Candle Jenga.
Jenga,
So
Kendall
Jenga.
Jenner.
Candle, like vela, candle Jenga.
Like a candle, like a vela.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
so then that way they won't trend.
I feel like they both look the same if they wore the same clothes.
Okay, guys, I
sad.
feel like he looks like Shrek when Shrek turns into a human in the movie. Do you remember that?
I do remember
Yes.
that.
And he
I
shows
do
up in the
remember
horse
Yeah.
to save Fiona.
He's like a sad little lump just in the back, like just you could imagine him just like trotting along.
He was. I wonder what people are. I know people are bent out of shape about this. I'm curious, like from you two, do you really care?
No.
Not
Like, I
really.
Do you really care that he's with
No.
Kendall Jenner? I figure like if you're gonna be with somebody and you're Bad Bunny, like I feel like Kendall Jenner is like the family that you would go with. Like I don't know if that makes sense to you. Like you know what I'm
I
saying?
don't even think it's gonna last, to be honest.
Even if
No.
it doesn't last, I just figure like they would aim that way. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just that big of a star, and so they would go that route. Like I don't know.
It's just fun to poke fun, I guess, but then also everything, I guess, like the music and some of the lyrics that he said, and
That's
then
what he's
to
getting
then
whacked
end up,
by.
yes,
Yeah.
and then to end up or to choose or to politically align themselves with
Well,
the
now he
family.
says he doesn't feel that way anymore. In the interview for Time magazine, he said,
Mhm.
"At the moment, I was mad, but now I don't feel that way." So it's like clearly, Kendall Jenga has changed his thoughts. And
We can use a real name. It's
Can't-
have to go
nope.
with Kendall Jenga.
Candle Jenga, thank you. But I think the thing is now it's like, and so his decline begins, right? Because now he's like walking
that's
it
up
back.
to see though. That's up to see though, because people will do that. They will go ahead and you know what will happen is it's like they'll turn around and every single time hatred is thrown at somebody, all the people who don't like the hatred that's being thrown at somebody will then join the force. So I guess the question is going to be is like whether or not in the end it's going to have like a lasting effect.
like, are you gonna be a diehard Bad Bunny fan, or are we all kind of
Yeah,
turning
like were
against
you
him?
with Bad Bunny just like everybody was with the Jonas Brothers when they were all single? Like, are you all of a sudden they start getting relationships and now all of a sudden, you know, you're not a Bad Bunny fan? Or
The
are you just gonna be like, oh, he's I don't know. Some people use really rough words for what they're trying to
There's
describe.
no
in
in
there.
between. For some reason, the hate towards celebrities lately has been so harsh. Like the whole Hailey
Yes.
Bieber and the Selena Gomez drama. Like, don't get me wrong. Like maybe Hailey has been mean in her past, but I don't think it should be to the point where she's getting like death threats, you know, and like people
Yeah,
are
Selena
still
already
talking
squashed
about
that.
it.
Yeah, Selena
Yeah.
was already squashing that. She was like, "That's not called for." I don't know where that's coming from. You know, I don't know why they bring it up. I will say this though, for anybody who wants to hate on this man, he's on the cover of Time magazine. I mean, they created a whole ass Spanish version, specific
Just for
Spanish,
him.
just for him and to represent. And he had a lot to say because we were talking about his critics. He had a lot to say about his critics. Says, if you don't want to listen to the music anymore, that's okay. That's fine. Someone will like it, which is what I was just saying before. It's like I do the music for those who want to listen to me and for those who want to connect with me. If you don't like what I'm doing, I'm not doing something else for you to like it. If you don't like it, well, brother, then there are plenty of artists out there and perhaps you'll find someone that you'll like. So, I mean, he's basically saying, I don't care. Like there's
Well, I would
somebody
have
who's
the
gonna
same
get it.
mentality too, because it's like at the end of the day, he's still Bad Bunny, you know?
That's
I mean,
insane.
you'll see, like, you sow what you reap what you sow, right? So we'll see, I don't know, in 6 months to a year where he's at, and all of this. um I, I still feel like he's walking it back now, and we'll see how his diehard fans will feel towards him when he's putting out new music, and we'll see how the music changes too, because those he was really writing, and his lyrics were really hardcore. I mean, he was really gung-ho about not speaking English, right? Speaking Spanish and being true to himself and talking about La Isla, and, los Latinos tienen sazón and everybody else wants it. And so now he's like walking it back. So let's see how these experiences color the way, or his feeling and what he puts into his music, and how the Latino or the people that consume his music and his products will feel towards it, and see if he feels any different. Because when you start to lose money, people start to walk it back.
But we don't know if he's losing money though. This isn't like a Kanye situation.
I don't think he would lose that much money, right?
But I mean, come on, Kanye. People thought he was too big to fail. I mean, this guy was like deals, and he was this rapper from Chicago that went avant-garde. He was in the midst of Anna Wintour and Vogue. And where is Kanye now? We haven't even heard. I mean, he hasn't even gone on a
Kanye did
crazy.
something. I mean, Kanye's fall is attributed to just really dumb vocal mistakes.
Kanye has always been Kanye.
Like
He's
it's not.
always
It's
been
yeah. It's not
outspoken.
like Kanye was being ripped at for dating a Kardashian. That's not what he lost money for. You know what I'm saying?
It's his like political actions.
He's
and
got
him
like
voicing.
he's got like, I mean, obviously Kanye has mental health issues and that needs to be
Mhm.
addressed aside from that. But I think it's those mental health issues that cost Kanye his money. I don't know if Bad Bunny, because I think the thing about Bad Bunny is Bad Bunny's evolving. So it's not like Bad Bunny's not limited to music. He was literally on Monday Night Raw last night getting slammed through a table on WWE. He's going to be on Marvel movies. He's already been on movies. Like he's a whole ass brand. So unless something happens, I don't know. He's gaining a different audience as he's losing the ones who are butthurt about Kendall Jenner, if that makes sense.
I will say over time, he's probably
Kendall.
not going to be as
Kendall.
popular. He's probably going to lose popularity, but he's always going to be like up there.
I mean,
we'll see,
it all depends. Like I think if he can nail the movie career, he's going to be like The Rock and all these other people who kind of like capitalized on being multifaceted, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
J-Lo?
Like like
The
J-Lo.
Rock is
J-Lo is
very
not a very good
likable,
singer,
though.
but
He hasn't been controversial. The Rock is just, I think, is a completely different thing. J-Lo thrives on she thrived on controversy. So we'll see.
she thrived on weddings. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
It's like
That
we
is-
get one more wedding movie.
Yeah. All right, so Pique.
Oh yeah, Pika News.
Pique.
He had the audacity to come on he was on a podcast and he spoke out saying that he's been bullied. He said, "My ex-partner is Latin American and you have no idea what I've received over social media from people that are fans of her." He said that during the conversation in Spanish on Hola magazine. "I don't know them. It's people who I guess don't have lives. Why should you care about them? You'll never meet them in your life. They're like robots." Well, this was translated from Spanish to English, so
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to translate it exactly how he said it. But he's pretty much saying that they're bullying him, and he's like not standing with that. He's like, "Why are you guys
Aw.
bullying me? You don't know me." Poor thing. I
mean,
know.
Which is, I can understand him being bullied. You messed up. Like, dude, what did you expect? She is world loved. Like, it's one of those things where like you decided to bully the wrong person, like, or not bully,
The
but
one
you
and only
you
Shakira.
decided to cheat on the one and only person that you probably shouldn't have cheated on.
But
And
I
then
think
not
it was
to
more so
mention-
his attitude. Other people
Yeah.
cheat. And it's just like, they come with a joint statement, for our children. This is how we're choosing to handle it. And I mean, fue bien déspota. The
Yeah,
way that
he was very
He's-
gallant, like
yeah.
it was almost very machismo.
yeah, like
sort of.
toma, like, coming into practice in Twingos. I mean, he just clearly did not care. Did you see that? He was at some sort of rap battle, and this guy, it was some competition or something, and he was there, and this guy started rapping, giving his own like flavor to some of the Shakira lyrics, and how can you expect not to? He is rude. He's nasty. More and more things are still coming out like that. The mom was kind of covering up for him.
It's
First
just
of all,
showing
let's get
his true
something straight,
colors.
because
It's
he
showing
says
his true
something that's
colors.
yeah, it is, and I think people, we admire celebrities until we don't. It's one of those things where they say careful if you meet your heroes or something like that, because you might get disappointed. I think,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not sure he would be a hero for anybody except for whoever's following soccer. I think, if I saw him in public, I'd be like, oh, that's Shakira's man. Like, it's not the other way around. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, that's Pika's wife. So it's like, it's kind of a weird scenario that he's in. I think the thing that bothers me is that he uses the term, my ex-partner is Latin American. Like, what does it matter? Your ex-partner was a woman. And what you're feeling is the wrath of women everywhere. If she was black, white, Indian, it wouldn't have mattered. You were going to get shade for this. Okay? She's got people in
his
France and
kids.
all kinds of places.
Yeah, he should still
His
have some
kids are-
respect for his wife because of his kids. It's like you're gonna be
And his
seeing this
kids are
woman
also
for the
half
next of
Latin
their lives.
American.
Yo, she moving to
mean-
Miami, though, which is a better move. She went from Spain to Miami. So that's gonna be a much better move for her, because I think Miami's probably a good place for Shakira. I will say that she responded, though. She said, orgullosa de ser latinoamericana. She tweeted, which translates
Damn.
proud to be Latin American. It was kind of a dumb thing to say, I think. Like, it just only added
More
to
salt.
what people thought of you. And so you just basically just threw yourself under the bus with the entire Latin American countries. Because it's like, what? I guess that's the reason you're being bullied? That's not the reason you're being bullied, dude. You're being bullied because you cheated.
Okay, guys, but we have
Honor.
two types of men going on in the news right now. We have the one that doesn't give a shit, sorry, and then we have somebody, sorry for my language, and then we have somebody like Becky G's fiance that's straight up
my
blaming
God.
his mental health issues to cheating on Becky G.
Yo, so we posted this like flash news on Something Latina. I remember the team posted that, and it was like we got so much flack for that, because it was like we got it when it was brand new. It was trending on Twitter. We reported it, and people were like, you don't even know if it's real. And then we were validated like 2 days later when he put out a paragraph. I mean, this man put out a thesis.
That made no sense. He
what?
contradicted himself. I never did anything, but I'm sorry for hurting you. But
Yeah.
You're like, what? Like,
Then there
what's
was
going on?
extortion and all
That's
kinds
so
of stuff.
sad, though. That is so sad. Like, when you're rooting for somebody and she finally thinks she's going to get that fairy tale ending, right? She found her person, and then this happens. And I think the way he proposed to everything was just so public and out there. And then for this
Cinderella
to happen,
style, like very, it was very.
No, and
like,
everybody looked up to their relationship. You were like, oh, they're like that couple that, you're just like, they seem genuine. We always got those vibes.
they were together
so,
for a while.
like,
I mean,
7
what is it,
years?
7 or
10
8 years, something like that.
7
It was quite a.
since
It's quite a bit.
2016, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like 7 or 8 years that they've been together. So it was just kind of shocking. But you'd be surprised how much. I think when we posted the reason for why he decided to do his whatever he did, according to him, that's when everybody went into him. We had people saying, oh yeah, it's okay. First of all, men, don't ever use mental health as a reason or excuse for why you decided to be unfaithful to your partner. It's not going to be accepted in any way. You should just become a serial killer if you're going to use mental health than to go and use that as a reason for why you want to say that you cheated on your girlfriend or your
He
wife.
was better off saying, like, look, I had a moment of whatever. I messed up.
I had a moment of
yeah.
weakness. Just
Like,
Mhm.
I messed up.
Be
I want to get her
honest.
back. But why do you have to say, I'm going to go seek help?
or don't say
Oh.
anything at all.
Or maybe
Completely
don't say-
ignore
yeah.
it. It's
yeah,
like
if
very
it wasn't, and he had a long ass essay. It's not like a paragraph saying, "Look, I apologize to the public. It was a moment of weakness. Please, what is it? Please respect the privacy of my wife and I as we go through this," or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
that's not what happened here.
And
they
then
were
people
just-
are so mean because they're assuming, oh, she's gonna stay with him. She already knew, and then now she's not wearing her ring, so people are like, yeah, go Becky. Like, it's like, what are you guys with her, against her? Like, make up your
It's
mind.
hard.
I don't know. Our
I think
community is kind of weird. You can talk about
Wait,
things, but you can't talk about
position.
things, and then
it's very difficult to judge somebody for making those decisions. I think we could say, if this happened to me, I wouldn't stay. But then, like you said, they had been together for 6, 7 years. You're emotionally invested, financially tied. Who knows what they have businesses or what's going on at that point? It's very difficult. It's not that easy. Sometimes it may be, and for some people, they may be very, I don't know, that might be something that they can handle. Other people, not so much. And when you're doing it in front of the public eye, the world's
public eye, yeah.
watching, I can't imagine like that type of pressure. And it's just, I don't know. I feel for that girl. That guy's dumb. And then don't you pay a publicist? Like, that paragraph was so difficult to get through. Like, dude, add some periods, some commas.
I think he wrote it himself.
I think
honestly
he wrote
think
it
he
himself, and his mind was probably like, all like.
Yeah,
Like, some effort, like, even with your apology, there was like no effort, man.
Yeah, he definitely fumbled that one.
And she still has yet to answer or like say anything. So,
but again, what can
I think
you
they're
say?
resolving. Yeah, I think in this case they're just trying to get through that.
Figure out like.
So whether she stays or doesn't stay with him, I mean, that's none of our concern as to whether she does or not. We're with her regardless. But I think in their case, the history is longer than the deed. We don't know what the full deed is, so we only got privy to whatever he wrote. But they didn't get into the details as to what in it. That was only his side of the story, and she's getting the full blown side of the story. It's kind of funny how all that stuff gets kind of leaked out so quickly, though. Like, we posted it maybe the same night the thing was leaked out.
Well, I think like everything, people get so overconfident nowadays, and they think that someone isn't going to leak it. I mean, how many people have had what's his name? Khloe Kardashian's dude, Tristan, right?
Tristan Thompson.
You're a public figure.
Yeah.
How do you think, right? Like, people have cameras.
Sometimes I think they don't have a brain. I'm sorry, men. Some men don't have a brain.
They have brains. They just don't use them. I mean, you don't get to the level that these people got without using a brain. I think the biggest thing about it is they're too self-confident in themselves and the people around them. And you just can't trust anybody, especially when you're at that high level. Like, I think Derek Jeter had it right when he used to have everybody turn in their phones when they used to go inside his house for house parties, because you just were not going to record whatever was going on at Derek Jeter's house. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's kind of a big deal, But hey, look, careful what you put out there. Some people are being prosecuted for certain things these days. Waka waka. Anyways, we won't get into that. This was a huge week for trailers, and I'm really excited this year because, and I think a lot of people are, because the first one is Blue Beetle. Now, for those DC comic fans, you're getting a first taste. I think it went out 2 or 3 days ago. Warner Brothers released that very first trailer for the upcoming Blue Beetle film, which stars Xolo Maridueña. We love him as Jamie Reyes, which is the third person to take up the Blue Beetle mantle. If you've been following the DC books, I'm going to play the trailer now. It's a little lengthy, but definitely worth it. So here we go. Are we not getting sound?
I don't think we're getting sound.
That's weird. Okay, well, for some reason, we're not getting sound on that. Not sure why. But I mean, it's huge. It's got a full loaded cast. So you have Xolo Maridueña, you have Adriana Barraza, who was in like Rambo, Last Blood. You have she's playing Jamie's grandmother. You have Damian Alcazar, who's on Narcos. You have George Lopez, who's going to be there. I mean, it's fully loaded with a Latino cast. What do you guys think about it?
I'm gonna be honest, I've never seen it, but I'm excited for it.
Yes, I don't know the history of the Blue Beetle. I'm excited to watch it. I'm not a huge DC fan. They always miss the mark. Like, So I have high hopes and I'm crossing my fingers. They just, man. But
For
this
whatever reason, yeah, I see
the
what you
quality
mean.
of this one looks promising. So
And I'm happy
I'll
with the cast too.
yes. So hopefully they don't do them dirty and it'll be like a actual good plot story and it'll have like a complete beginning, middle, and an end because man, they just with Black Adam with The Rock, I really thought that that one was going to be a hit and it was they were
It
when you
was.
have somebody as big as The Rock and behind and not just acting it like fully behind the movie and it was just a total like womp womp. So
I think the
crossing
the biggest thing about that is The Rock had a lot to say in that. Like he had a lot of input into that. They wouldn't bring in what's his name from Shazam to be a part of this. They would, it was kind of like he asked for Henry Cavill to be in the movie,
yeah.
even though like now Henry Cavill's no
Let's
longer.
okay, let's not get it. That could be the whole other thing. But my point is he's a big movie star, right? So he knows the secret sauce on what I mean, even his star power alone like really brings in people. I don't know. It was just
But I
such a
feel like
flop.
The Rock, his movies are a little cheesy sometimes. Don't kill me, but they are a little bit cheesy.
Sometimes. Yeah. No,
Like he has like
actually,
a cheesy like side to him. Like I can't take him serious. Like in a
Agreed.
film. I'm sorry, I just can't.
no, agreed. But you know what? They always hit, right? Like he's a big draw. Otherwise, he wouldn't be as huge as he is. He wouldn't have the star power that he does. I mean, he has like a full line with Under Armour. He's like producing. He's like doing a bunch of stuff. I don't know. It was whack. The movie was so lame. It was such a bummer. So I'm hoping that they don't do
This
our
one looks
cast
like it's gonna be
dirty.
better already. So
I mean,
Yes.
the thing for me so here's the thing. I went into Black Adam with the same expectations that I go into every DC movie like Aquaman and all the other ones, which is it's just going to be a disappointment, but I already know the type of disappointment it is. It's like entertainment disappointment. So I'm looking at it from like, okay, how good is going to be from the bad, so to speak, not as like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, like this isn't, end game, end games or you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not expecting anything huge from it. So for me, like it was kind of cool to see a superhero that kind of whooped ass and was unstoppable. But I can see what you mean, where like, yeah, he barely acted in that. It was like one-liners, cheesy.
So
The whole
bad.
floating thing was just kind of weird for him to. He was just floating everywhere. Just it was just kind of a weird thing
was
for
not
The Rock
good.
to do. Yeah. So we're
It was
hoping that
not
this
good.
is completely different because this actually looks funny, which is different from what they normally have. Because I think what you're getting now is you're getting acting in some of these because you're getting a lot of entertaining actors from the Latino community who really know how to kind of push that button. Just even the start of that, which I'm really sorry, guys, we'll put it in for the actual podcast. But just even the start of that is just hilarious. Him being called out, and he's actually obviously just cleaning stuff and things of that nature. But I'm really excited from that. I'm hoping that this next trailer actually works. I'm not sure what happened with the first one. We'll have to look into that. But Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I'm not sure how I feel about this though. I'm not a whole big like multiverse fan. Like since they've gone that route, I've been kind of like, okay, can we like keep it in one place? Like there's just 8 different Spider-Mans now and like 7 different this and that. And it's really like I got turned off by Doctor Strange. Like the
really,
second one.
the,
Yeah.
Really?
the newest one.
I didn't
I love that movie.
I just couldn't get into it. It was just
It was
just
kind
like
of creepy.
it was like the creepiness was there, but it was a mess. Like it was just like the story wasn't really strong. They were just trying to throw visual graphics effect at you to try to make up for it. Like I don't know. I mean, that's just me. So if you've been following Miles Morales and that version of Spider-Man, they have the animated sequel that's coming out. It's voiced by Shamik Moore and Gwen Stacy. And in this case, they're working to save every Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, and Spider-Person in the multiverse, which is why I'm kind of like, what? Okay. And so they have to stop a new mysterious villain. So who happens to be planning a disaster, of course, in every universe, because that's what we have to do now. And so here's the trailer. Let's hope it works. If not, we'll definitely play it for the other side. and I don't think it's playing the sound either.
I
Right?
don't think it's playing either.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to
Mm-mm.
figure that out. We'll try to see if we can get that fixed. Maybe it's because of the type of videos that we have. So, but yeah,
I'm
these are-
excited for it.
Well, since it's animated, I don't feel that like I don't know if it was like live action, I would probably be like,
It's actually really good. If you've watched have you watched part 1, Daisy?
no, I haven't.
It's actually for an animated, like an elevated, reminiscent like cartoon of the past. So it's not like the productions that you have now with animated films. It's almost like, I don't know, you're waking up in the morning watching your Saturday morning cartoons, but like a bump up above that. I
Mhm.
can't explain it. I'm not huge into cartoons anymore. I don't think I have like a 15-year-old. I haven't watched a cartoon in a while unless I'm taking my niece out somewhere. And we watched part 1. It was actually really, the story was good. It kept me entertained, and so I'm actually
Excited.
excited to see this one, and the spider piggy. It's really cool.
Babbler doesn't seem too excited. He's like, meh.
I just look. I'm stuck on that. Like, I don't know how good this is going to be. You know what I'm saying? It's like we have comments. So Maria, who's part, is a friend of ours. She's part of the Insightful Babes podcast. She's saying it's still a long way for representation in Hollywood, but looking forward to watching the Blue Beetle. And then when it comes to Spider-Man, I mean, it's the same thing. Miles Morales, Afro-Latino. So I do have a question for you. What do you guys think about the fact that Shamik Moore is doing the voiceover of Miles Morales? Is it different because it's a voiceover and it doesn't really matter from that standpoint? Because I think he's from Jamaica, right? Like, he's Jamaican descent. So would you guys have preferred to see a Afro-Latino be the voice over to that for the complete representation, or are you good just because it's an animated series?
No, I think I would have rather seen the representation there.
Like somebody voice it, somebody.
Yeah, I
who's actually a
personally
part of
don't
it?
like when they change like characters. Like, I know a lot of people don't care, but like the ethnicity behind it, I think you should keep it the same.
Okay, so
I don't
even
know,
if it's a
that's my opinion.
voiceover, like Paula, what do you think? Even if it's a voiceover,
I think it's a fresh take. It's representation is representation. We're getting there. Again, I think like we've had this conversation before. It might not be ideally where we want it to be, but it's so much more than we've ever had. So I it works. They're in New York. I mean, you could see this boy, this Spider-Man, and so many different kids can probably see themselves in it than the 3 other iterations of Spider-Man in the live action, right? The movie, like, with the 3 different other Spider-Man. Come on, what variety do we have there? So here we have this boy, and he could he be black? Could he be Afro-Latino? Could he be so many different things? And now you actually have a whole new different generation of little kids to be able to see themselves in this character. And so I don't think that hurts. It's an advancement. Not where we should be.
You
But
say it's a step forward. It's at least a step
yes,
forward. Okay.
I mean, like with the whole controversy with the Little Mermaid, it just literally, how many different Spider-Mans have we had? How many different versions of every movie have we
But I
Disney's
don't know-
version of multiverse.
I don't agree with I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but I feel like I'm sorry, like I think that we can't just go and change things. Like, in my opinion, more films need to be made for representation. Why don't we have a Mexican princess? I'm sorry, we've never had a Mexican princess.
Yes, that is true, but also, if they're going to continue to make the same thing in different versions, why not change it up a little bit? It's like, there are a lot of people that are upset that the new Little Mermaid is black. Okay, if you're so stuck on nostalgia, nobody's taking away the other Little Mermaids. They're still there for everyone to enjoy. Why not give a chance for other people again to be able to see themselves? I remember when I was little wanting to be an actress and looking up at TV, and unless we were watching Telemundo or something like that, you didn't see yourself in up on the big screen. Like if you went to watch movies, you didn't see little girls that looked like you, and you thought, oh, maybe that career, and maybe naively, and those are thoughts of a child thinking, oh, maybe this career isn't for me because nobody up there looks like me, or no one's Mexican, or no one's, and so you start and that's how they keep us down, and that's how we're kept down. And again, we have media and things like that to open our mind and open up possibilities, but to have even the reality to have Chloe Bailey, not Chloe Bailey, Halle Bailey, to have her up on the screen. And again, just like, have you seen like the videos of all the little girls, little Black girls, Afro Latinas, just everybody, the tears in their eyes to say, Mama, she looks like me.
Yeah. And I get that, and I agree, but it's like, what, instead of remaking these films, why don't we make films about the actual people? You get me? Like,
yeah, and that would be amazing, but they're not going to be made, right? The budget isn't there. They know that this is going to bank, whether it's because of a controversy, whether it's because of nostalgia. People are going to go watch this film, so they're not going to take a chance in making something new. They're going to see, okay, how.
Yeah, I can see that. I see what you're saying. I think what she's saying is that she wants to. They're going to bank on the fact that the character already has.
Yeah, that's
like the prestige or the recognition already, so it's just a matter of filling in that spot, as opposed to creating something new that nobody's going to kind of buy into until they actually
kind of like
learn.
When we were watching what was Encanto. At first nobody really cared about the film, remember?
Yeah, it took some time for them to be able to kind of jump in there and kind of get comfortable with that specific story.
Yeah,
whereas everybody like knows the Little Mermaid. So it's just a matter of like replacing the one character, and then you just have to kind of build, the one. But I do agree with what you're saying. That
I agree with Paula too, because it's amazing to see like the change in character and how a lot of little girls are motivated and feel like they fit in. But for me, it's like, well, why don't we keep making films about everybody? Different films. But like she said, we're on a budget. We're not always going to get that. But I feel like we've come a long way. Do you think we've come a long way? Like, with
I think so. There was a lot of people who in the beginning were really upset about the Little Mermaid and so forth. But I think as you see the movie getting closer and closer, you're seeing a difference in mentality when it comes to the film and, how it's being done by Disney. And I honestly think that the film's going to do very well. If it doesn't do very well, yeah. I mean, if it doesn't do very well, it's for the reason that people were complaining about in the beginning, which is people, will just be ignorantly boycotting a movie.
People take it way too serious. Yeah, it's like, who cares? It's not that big of a deal.
If it's that serious, it's that serious for you, then that's fine. Don't watch it. Go back, watch the animated version and show that to your kids. All right, so Paul disconnected, and so we're going to just kind of run off from here. So everyone, thank you for joining the show. You can follow us on all social media platforms at Todo Wafi. The Latin Babbler Show is available on all of your favorite listening apps. Don't forget to visit our website, www.todowafi.com. I'm Rafael. That is Daisy. We lost Paula, but she'll be back next week.
She's in a tornado or a storm somewhere.
And so we are out.
Desde Nicaragua hasta Costa Rica, con esta canción todo mundo se identifica. Llamen a los chilenos y a los cubanos, llamen a Puerto Rico y a los mexicanos, que ya se armó la rumba. Desde Panamá hasta Ecuador, vámonos a Perú y luego hasta Salvador. Que se escuche en Brasil y Argentina. Yo quiero un grito de mi gente latina y levantaré mi bandera, estando en mi país o estando allá afuera, porque para mí, mira, no existen